Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Monday, October 27th, 2025. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral. With me today are Bishop Robert Griffin, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. We are the Queer God Squad. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world.
In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 11,000 stories and 11 million views so far.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Queer God Squad discusses the first female primate, Sarah Mullally's historic appointment. The appointment of Sarah Mullally as the 106th Archbishop of Canterbury marks a historic moment for the Church of England and the global Anglican Communion. Succeeding Justin Welby, Mullally is the first woman to hold the most senior spiritual office in the Church's nearly 500-year history. Prior to her ordination, she served as the government's chief nursing officer for England, a career that brings a critical perspective rooted in public service, compassion, and institutional leadership. Mullally inherits a church facing profound internal and external pressures. The Anglican Communion is deeply divided over issues of human sexuality and doctrine, requiring the new archbishop to be a skilled diplomat and unifier across conservative and liberal factions worldwide. Furthermore, she has publicly pledged to confront the enduring legacy of safeguarding failures and institutional mistrust that led to her predecessor's departure. Her initial addresses have signaled a commitment to social justice, condemning rising antisemitism, and highlighting global crises like poverty and the environment. Mullally's elevation signals the Church of England's commitment to gender equality in its highest ranks, but her tenure will ultimately be defined by her ability to bridge theological rifts while simultaneously addressing critical national and global issues with the clear moral conviction honed during her decades in public life. I am thrilled by her appointment. I mean, she exemplifies truly a life of public service. She started as a nurse and then became a priest, and then the Bishop of London, and now the Archbishop of Canterbury.
Yes.
And the changes that hopefully she can put into place. Now, I recognize already there are people who are unhappy with this because she is female. And believe it or not, I actually understand that. I get a bit of that myself. But I'm thrilled with what she has the potential to do, and that someone with such a clear vision and love of public service is in this role now.
And they're worried about regional provinces, because I forget how many there are, but the Anglican Communion is made up of several independent, jurisdictions. And then there are some that are like the U.S., the Episcopal Church in the U.S. has its arms, like I forget where. It used to be Cuba. I think it is still in Cuba. It used to be in Brazil, but now Brazil has its own thing. But so even though it says U.S., it's still several countries also. And then there's Australia, there's Canada, there's New Zealand, there's African countries. I think Kenya has its own, South Africa has its own. So there's just all of these, and they come together to make this communion. And their heads or their primates, their presiding bishops or archbishops, they meet every decade in London at Lambeth, and so it's like a collegiality. They're all independent. They all use a prayer book in the Anglican tradition. They all have deacons, priests, and bishops, but they're governed independently, and they come together like a big conference to be friends or whatever. So when people threaten to pull out of the friendship thing, that doesn't make any sense to me, because they're not in charge of you anyway. Really, I mean, that person, she is sort of the titular, figurehead of the big communion. But she doesn't tell you what to do. If you try to, you could say no. I mean, so it's just when people say, well, I don't want a woman this, or I don't want a gay person, or I don't want, you're saying your prejudice is more important than your relationships with this communion. Now, if you don't value relationships, if you have some theological problems with the community or whatever, but that the English branch of the church, which is where it started, and because of colonialism is why it's all in all these other places, even in the U.S., the U.S. colonies broke away from Great Britain, but they were Church of England, and there was no Church of England bishops to make new bishops, and because they were at war with England, Seabury, this guy Seabury, had to go from Connecticut to Scotland to have a Church of Scotland bishop make him a bishop so he could go back and start making bishops from the priests. So even the Episcopal Church of the United States is because of British colonialism.
Right.
So that's how it all is. And so, like, you're all free to do what you want to anyway, but when you say, but where I draw the line is if somebody's queer, or if they or somebody identifies as female, we can't even be friends with you anymore. That shows what you really worship.
Yeah.
You know, that you worship your prejudices more, because all she is existing.
Right.
All she is, her only administrative authority is over the Church of England.
Right.
And she's like the face of, or the cheerleader of, or the figurehead of the larger movement. But she's only administratively in charge of her own church. And so that you say, well, I can't even be part of a club that lets her be in charge. And we can analyze it anthropologically, sociologically, psychologically. Yes, it stems from the evils of colonization. I get that. But if this is what took you, like if you like, well, we accept the colonization part. We accept, we accept all the super conservatism. We accept that, they tolerated slavery for a long time. We can tolerate, that, they were on the wrong side of wars a lot of time. Oh, but a woman, and apparently a good person at that, that's where we draw the line. That's deep woundedness that needs to be examined and healed.
I remember when Bishop Catherine Jeffries became the presiding bishop of the Episcopal Church USA, and the fallout that happened. We can't have a woman because that's not who we are supposed to be under the authority of or the leadership of. And now with the primate, Sarah Mullally, the exact same thing is happening again. Oh, well, we cannot bow to the authority of a woman because scripture and this and that, and that's not right. I'm under the impression that whoever they would have selected would have been right for somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
First of all.
Right.
Secondly, that they did select her, a qualified person, more qualified. I mean, if you read her resume, if you go down and read about Bishop Sarah, it's like she is well qualified. I mean, started out as a nurse. I mean, talk about someone who does compassion work. Someone who understands human needs and is in the trenches and understanding just that level of what it means to be in relationship with people. Kind of signals to me that she understands what it means to be in a relationship with people outside of the hospital, outside of her communion, and what it means to the big picture. And that healing touch I think she will probably bring to it will also bring, I'm going to say, the scalpel.
Yeah.
Hello.
When you need to cut something loose and let it go, you just have to cut it loose and let it go, and you move on. So I'm happy, I'm hopeful, I'm delighted. May her journey, may her ministry be blessed, and may she be well in doing so.
I imagine she will be very pastoral in her responses, though.
With the scalpel.
Oh yes, yes.
I imagine, that she will be as gracious as, probably much more so than I would be, with the criticisms and whatnot. And that if people goes, that she will probably try to leave every door open for them to come back. And she's going to be super, super pastoral. But I also doubt if she'll be bullied.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't get to where she was. But,
Exactly.
And there's the other part of the conversation. Here we are in the year 2025, still having conversations about who can do what. I don't think that your gender determines how you can do a job. I never believe that to be true, and I never will believe it to be true.
Maybe surrogate mother. Maybe that's your job.
Maybe that.
There's probably a few incidents.
A few things. I think there's some loopholes.
There are very, very few times when one will say, oh, you're a man, you can't do that. Oh, you're a woman, you definitely can't do that. You're queer, please leave. The groups that are looking to leave or to disassociate even further with the denomination, I really believe that so much of it is fear-based. It's afraid of what the future might look like and afraid that maybe their piece of the pie is going to be shrunk. But the whole thing is that the denomination is not a pie. Yeah. It is boundless. There's enough for everybody to go around, and everybody needs to take a deep cleansing breath and realize that this is great.
And Anglicans, that's my background, but Anglicans are so afraid of schism, much more afraid than I am. Okay,
Wow.
schism away, whatever. Come back if you want to, but like, why we gotta all, okay, if you want to go, go. If you want to come back. But this idea that unity at all costs, I don't think so. In fact, I think a lot of things have been tolerated in the name of unity at all costs that were not good things.
Yeah.
Like misogyny.
Like misogyny. And here it is, right? Exactly.
There you go.
Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad.
Before we go, I want to invite you to check out our Performing Arts series. Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts has a great acts lineup for the 2025 and 2026 season. Here is a taste of what's coming up.
Golden Ghouls. Picture it. Halloween 2025. It will be right here on our stage, one night only, October 25th.
Then on November 7th, we will welcome back Miss Coco Peru in Fuck This Shit. If this show is like her other tours de force, there will be storytelling, laughs, singing, and a moral to tie up the evening. Or maybe this one is entirely different. You'll have to come to the show to know for sure. But you already know it's going to be one of the best nights of comedy and drag artistry you will have enjoyed all year.
December 7th brings Matthew Darren's annual Holiday Fantasia, always amazing, and this year it will again be co-hosted by Varla Jean Merman.
And in 2026, there's already some great shows lined up, such as Selections from Pearly, a musical based on the play Pearly, Victorious by Ossie Davis on February the 7th. For more information about these shows and others, and to secure your tickets, go to sunshinecathedral.org/arts.
Please like and share this episode on your social media and look for Sunshine Cathedral on Facebook or Instagram.
You can also like our individual pages on Facebook. Remember to visit sunshinecathedral.org frequently. There you will find Bishop Talk, where Bishop Durrell and I interview queer religious leaders, activists, and scholars.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we are all in this together. Also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.